Gotta love baseball's postseason. Oh, yeah. Red Sox and Yankees deliver us another memorable wild card game. We'll preview the American League Division Series. Plus, we'll have fantasy picks for tonight's National League wild card game, Cardinals at the Dodgers. Welcome, everybody, to Fantasy Sports Superdraft Pro Daily Picks. I'm Jim Ginocchio, former sportscaster with Turner Broadcasting and NBC in Atlanta. Joining me from Los Angeles, Hollywood producer and leading fantasy sports expert for the last 20 years, Ross the Boss. Ross, good to see you, bud.
Good to see you. I'm Ross the Boss, and I want to talk Super Draft Pro with you, cowboy. I'm excited about tonight's game. It's in my hometown of Los Angeles, California, and it's going to be a good one. We got two teams that are just super hot, unbelievable. I'm excited to talk about it.
Absolutely. Well, let's kind of recap what happened yesterday. It was pretty amazing. I remember you and I were on a Facebook live program with Kevin Blake Weldon, who will probably join us later in the week. And it was interesting because the first guy he mentions is the X Factors, Xander. And so when he did that, holy cow, Xander Bogaerts, you and I are going, yeah, really? Well, sure enough, first inning, 2-run homer. And then, of course, he an incredible relay throw to throw out Judge in the sixth inning, where the Yankees were really making a comeback.
They really were, and it shows why home field advantage in Boston is really important for Boston, because they know that ballpark inside and out. That would have been a home run at 11 out of like 30 ballparks. That would have been a home run. Probably 29 out of 30. That would have been at least a double, maybe even a triple. But in Boston, that's like a long single, or you're thrown out the plate. So it shows you why home field advantage for Boston is so important. And I get it. But let's also talk about Kai Schwarber. I mentioned in my picks, he had a home run. Anthony Rizzo, who I said his multiplier was way too high, which I loved. He hit a home run. So we didn't do bad ourselves, but I do give credit. The first home run was Kevin Blake Weldon, and I get why you're mentioning him first. But Ross the Boss, but everybody had Cole going at least to the fifth inning, and he was out. He only got 6 outs the whole game, which was a complete bomb. I mean, that's there's a reason why maybe you stay away from the favorites, and that's one of the reasons why.
Yeah, and I had noticed the headlines in the sports section of the Daily News. It's going to be a cold winter in New York, so that was pretty heavy. I'll tell you that.
It is, and it just shows you like New York Yankees, when they signed Cole, that's the reason they signed him, for games like that, and he really didn't deliver. I mean, he really all that money that they're paying him, he's one of the highest ball players in the league, and I don't know what you do during the offseason with them. But we'll see. I mean, they have an option on his contract, so we'll see if he gets picked up.
Yeah, absolutely. So Boston now travels to Tampa Bay as the American League Division Series begins, and of course, the White Sox go to Houston to take on the Astros. Any quick picks from there in regards to those games?
Listen, I'll give you my picks right now. Okay, it's as easy, and I'll stand by this because I'll say it right today. I'm taking the White Sox to win the American League, and the winner of today, St. Louis and the Dodgers, to win the National League. So whoever wins today, I'm taking to win the National League. And then World Series wise, let's go Chicago White Sox.
Wow, there you go.
I mean, I feel Chicago is
hey, it'd be great, right? I mean,
yeah, I agree with you.
I still can't forget August 12th, the Field of Dreams game with the White Sox and the Yankees. I mean, that to me was a turning point for baseball. But watching the White Sox in that game, they made a believer out of me in regards to thinking about the American League playoffs.
No, they could have.
All right, we move forward. All right.
Yeah, let's move forward.
Okay. Let's talk Dodgers Cardinals tonight, man. That's going to be a great game.
It's going to be a great one. A lot of history between the two. As we know, Max Scherzer, I said it right, Jim, so don't give me a bad time. His nickname here is Psychopath. You know why it's Psychopath? Because he's really good, but also game day, you're not allowed to touch him. You're not allowed to look at him. He's like very superstitious, Scherzer. And if I had any pitcher to pick from in Major League Baseball today to start a game, it would be Max Scherzer. So I love Max Scherzer. as you
Well,
know.
and all the starting pitchers for the Dodgers, that's the reason why the Dodgers had 105 wins. I mean, you go right down the list. And to me, we always have said for years, pitching wins championships, just like defense in football. And the Dodgers have it.
The Dodgers do, and St. Louis, again, let's talk St. Louis. 17 games in a row in the month of September to catapult them to be a wild card team. I mean, catapult.
Yep.
I'm saying catapult with a capital C, because they were dead. Everybody, all the Cardinals fans thought the season was over, and all of a sudden, 17 in a row, they win the wild card. Now they're playing the Dodgers. Wainwright, who's pitching tonight, 40 years old, led the league in complete games. Playoff ERA 2.89. That's playoff ERA, which is 2.89. He's
Right.
and I'm a big fantasy nut. In fantasy baseball, he's the 9th rated pitcher this year. 9th out of all the other great pitchers, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, it
So
is.
so Wainwright and Scherzer are two guys that we're taking tonight for sure. Scherzer I have as a champion in a couple of my cards. The other champion I like is AJ Pollock. I feel he's going to have a big game. I don't know why. I just feel AJ Pollock's been playing a great September. The Dodgers are loaded, so there's a lot of names I'm going to mention, and you just take a bag and you just pick a name because they're loaded. They're a lot of talent, and we'll go through it right now. But AJ Pollock, if you take him in the champion mode, which you get 0.5 times, 2.7, and Scherzer is a 1, so you're getting 1.5 on Scherzer. You got to take a stand when you're doing this kind of stuff. I think the Dodgers are going to win the game, and I think Scherzer is going to get the win. So that's the reason I'm going to take him as my champion. But my long shot is AJ Pollock. And then we got guys, for the flex positions, we got, this is way too high. This one you should take advantage of is Corey Seeger. Corey Seeger was the MVP last year in the World Series. He's having an unbelievable September. And I mean, he's killing the ball. I mean, he's been on fire for the Dodgers. His multiplier, Jim, guess what it is?
I actually know what it is. It's 1.95.
1.95. Way too high.
It is very high.
Way too high.
That's a gift right there.
So you throw him in. Another guy that's been like the Dodger MVP this year, and I know this because I live in LA, and he was hurt. He got hurt in August, and then in September he came back. I don't know if he's starting tonight, but I'm pretty sure he is because Max Muncy is not playing. He's hurt, and he's the Dodgers' leading offensive player. He's not playing. So the Dodgers' offense is going to be a little on the tilt, but I don't think it matters. Is Chris Taylor. Chris Taylor is the Dodgers, like, whenever they need a hit or home run or something they need done, he does it. You know what his multiplier is, Jim? Tell me what his multiplier is. 2.25. Which is unbelievable.
Chris is over 2.
Yeah, it's 2.25.
Yeah.
I mean, his is unbelievable. It's another gift.
Yeah.
And then we also have the National League batting champion playing this game. He hit 328 this year. Trey Turner, he's been on fire. You got to take Trey. His multiplier is not that high, folks. It's like 1.15 or 35. I think it's 1.35. Still, you got to throw him in the lineup too. So I'm naming a lot of names.
1.35.
1.35. Then you got Mookie Wilson, who's like Mr. Playoffs. He goes on fire. His multiplier is 1.55. So I'm mentioning players. The problem with the Dodgers is this, especially for super drafts, and it's a good problem to have. They have too many great players, and that's when you take advantage of the multiplier. I mentioned Taylor. I mentioned Seeger. I mentioned AJ Pollock. And then if you want to go to if you want to go to the Cardinals, Nolan Ariano. How do you spell the third baseman? Ariano. He's 1.7. Yeah, and he's like unbelievable.
Yep.
And then I love Paul Goldschmidt. I mean, he's 1.4. So, and then there's also Harrison Bader, who's like a 2.0. Who's like a young stud batter for St. Louis. So I apologize for all these names, but and
all it takes is one shot with these guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you should mix and match some of these guys. Look at their multiplier. Use the multiplier in your advantage tonight because you know what? There's a lot of talent out there, and anybody can get a home run or get 3 hits tonight. It's up for sale. So go out there, use the names I mentioned, and just take a bag and just pick them. There you go.
Absolutely. And of course, the draft, the app that we're talking about is the Superdraft Pro app, which you can see right there on our screen, Superdraft Pro. But I mean, hey, you can win on this app even when you lose. I mean, it's legal in 50 states, and you can draft the way you want. You can choose the players you want without dollar figures and dollar cap and salary caps and all that garbage. And this is what makes it a lot of fun, Ross. I'm looking forward to doing this all season long, especially when basketball and hockey and all this comes along.
Oh,
It's
I
going to be a
can't
lot of
wait.
fun.
I'm
Oh
doing a
yeah.
basketball draft. I'm doing a basketball draft tomorrow, which I'm excited about. And hockey season starts next week, which I'm
I know.
really excited about. And it's going to be unbelievable. And tomorrow we got the Rams playing the Seahawks.
Yeah.
That's going to be a battle of that division. That's a great division game. And trust me, I'm going to take a tight end in that game, and I can't wait to tell you who it is.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, I want to talk about a wide receiver that just came back to the game, Josh Gordon. Now, what type of impact is he going to make in Kansas City?
You know, that's interesting. Josh Gordon, deep threat, very fast, great hands. He hasn't played it in a while. I mean, I'm not gonna take him until I see him on the field for at least a couple games and get adjusted to playing NFL football, because you can practice all you want. Doesn't mean anything. But Josh Gordon is somebody that Mahomes is going to love throwing to, because he's a deep threat and he can fast, and Tariq Hill now, he gets double teamed. So Josh Gordon's going to be single teamed, and he could be a big surprise pick. He just has to stay out of trouble and stay clean, Josh Gordon. I mean, I'm rooting for the kid. And he's been a troubled guy for a long time. He's been suspended more than once, but
yeah,
I'm rooting for him. I think Kansas City's a perfect spot for him. Middle of the country, Midwest. Not that many.
Can't get in trouble out there.
Can't get in trouble. I don't think so. And if he hangs out with Mahomes and Tyreek and the rest of the guys, I think he'll be good.
Yeah, no, I really think so as well. I think it'll be a great addition. Hey, real quick, I know this is a defensive player. It doesn't really matter in our fantasy leagues, but in regards to team defenses, it might. Stephon Gilmore is leaving the Patriots, now available. Of course, he's got a couple of weeks left of his injury that he's dealing with.
Yeah,
but boy,
hurt.
What an addition that'll be to, let's say, Kansas City or Green Bay.
I mean, both defenses need help. I mean, Kansas City's defense is really bad. They're not good.
Yeah.
They need a lot of help. I mean, I don't know what type of money he's going to want, but I mean, I feel he could be a Ram. The Rams want to improve their defense always. They got Ramsey. They got the best player in the league. I mean, the Rams have a good team. I mean, I see one of the teams that have one of the best records are going to sign him. I don't feel like the Jets are going to sign him. I don't feel Atlanta's going to sign him.
No,
I would love to. I'd love to have Cincinnati sign him. I mean, Cincinnati's 3-1. They can improve their defense if they sign the guy. But it'd be interesting where he goes. And there's a lot of cap issues with him. He has a huge contract, so it has to be a team that has cap space.
Well, and that's one of the reasons why the Patriots have decided to let him go. But Gilmore's going to end up with a great contract no matter where he ends up. So as you mentioned, Rams and Seahawks tomorrow night. We'll have the AL Division Series games to talk about on tomorrow's program as well. So that's going to be a fantastic thing.
And then, guys, the weekend we're in the hump. Today's hump day. Today's Wednesday.
Yeah.
We got NFL. I'm already looking. The multipliers and stuff are already up for the NFL. I'm already checking it out. There's some really good multipliers next. I can't wait to talk. And let me give people a sneak for tomorrow. Who's a great multiplier that you should for sure take, that we'll talk about tomorrow. It's Alex Collins, the Irish two-stepper we call him. He is like over 3. It's like his multiplier is like out of this world. And Chris Kaysen, their usual running back, is questionable, but Collins came in second half. He was like unbelievable last week. So Collins, a huge mistake on headquarters with Alex Collins. I just want to give people a little taste about tomorrow, but he's going to be one of my top picks, maybe even a champion. We'll see what I do.
And what about Damien Williams steps in for Montgomery in Chicago? I mean, I think his multiplier is pretty high as well.
His multiplier's high. Damien's going to get a lot of work. Montgomery's out to 4 to 5 weeks, I read. The Chicago loves to run the ball, obviously, with a young quarterback. Damien Williams had a great second. He played last week. He looked great. That's a good one, too. I just didn't want to bring it up quite yet because it's a Sunday game. But we'll talk about Damien Williams on the weekend. Special weekend edition show of Superdraft Pro you can watch on Saturday morning, which I'm excited about too.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Well, folks, to stay connected to our show, hit subscribe and then click like and ring the bell for notification. We'd love to have you keep joining us here on our fantastic show every single day. Our show is Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific time. Final thoughts it out, Ross the Boss.
My final thought is this: Dodgers 5, St. Louis 2. Dodgers move on to play in they'll probably play Milwaukee, I believe. And that should be a great series too. But remember what Ross the Boss says: whoever wins tonight's game is the National League champion.
Absolutely. Well, that's it. That's it for our program. Ginocchio in Atlanta. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.